I'm Lucy, and today we're joined by Adam at the Welcome to Travel team. And we're super excited because we've just started working with the team over in Australia for our new Work Australia packages. And we thought we'd just chat with Adam today a little bit about those new packages. And also we've been getting some of your frequently asked questions, and we want to ask some of those to Adam. So Adam, if you want to just kick us off and tell us a little bit about Welcome to Travel and what it's all about, that'd be a fab start.
Perfect, absolutely. So yeah, great to be here, by the way. Thanks for inviting me on. It's good to chat about traveling again.
I know.
So Welcome to Travel. It was started by myself and Daryl, we're very much like you guys that are planning on traveling. We're two people from the UK, up in Yorkshire. We came over on a working holiday in 2010. With the intention of staying 6 months in the country. We stayed here through farm work and a few other odd jobs, and then we landed a job in travel. Absolutely loved it, fell in love with the industry, fell in love with the country. And then, in 2017, we decided to quit those jobs. We were both looking after 15 to 20 travel shops each, and we'd met a lot of travelers, seen a lot of people's experiences, and we wanted to offer a new experience and welcome people like yourself over to this country and kind of help not make the mistakes we did, and also give experiences that you could maybe only do if you kind of knew a local. So we've got that kind of bucket list ticking going on at Welcome to Travel, where we make sure people do all the things you have to do when you get to Australia, such as surfing and seeing wildlife. But then we're taking you to different spots that you might not know about. So a tour in Melbourne, for example, we're taking people on food and drink tours to places you would absolutely never ever spot. And then our big thing is we're here for the entire journey. So we offer help for employment, farm work. We set up the bank account, tax file number, phone, everything. So it's basically an experience-filled week and then an ongoing community for your entire time here in Australia. And we've just been working in Melbourne to now, and now we're happy to say we've just launched in Sydney. So exciting times in the down times.
Absolutely right. And just on that, and you said about the group side of things, like tell us roughly, like if I was to come out, how many people would I be like meeting and in like the first week?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically we pick everyone up from the airport individually and then take everyone to the hostel on whatever day people land. And then on the Monday morning, we have a meet and greet, and we have up to 22 people. So that's our absolute max. It's a big enough group to meet people, but we don't want to go any bigger than that because we just want to make sure that everyone knows everyone within the group. And that's been a really good number. So the last summer we were running pre-COVID, we were like 18 to 22 people every single week, and I think we've carried 37 different nationalities, so that's pretty good as well in terms of meeting different people.
Right, not all just Brits meeting Brits, right?
No.
I'm going to throw you onto another one. You mentioned there you didn't want backpackers to do the same mistakes you did. What was a couple of those you made, and tell us a little bit about like how your packages sort of address that?
Yeah, so I suppose a big one is we try and help people with a bit of like realism and structuring the working holiday when people get here. I know that we thought we might just like work and travel every week for like 12 months, for example. And then when you think about it, let's say if you were in London and you decided to move to Edinburgh, so in a country that you're not going to get a job on day one and then work for a week and then leave to Glasgow and then get another job for a week. So I don't know why we have that. And I think that's a common thing. So we try and help with that. We have like an employment and kind of working holiday and travel presentation where we talk about structuring the working holiday so that you might work for a bit to save for your next travel, or you might travel for a bit and then when you run out of money, you work again, that kind of thing. I think that would be one. I think taking any job, that kind of works both ways, not taking any job with anyone, but also kind of being open to different opportunities and different experiences. Was a big one. Definitely kind of going with the flow ones over here a bit more as well, and realizing that I'm a real planner, which is great for some things, but when I was in Scarborough 6 months before I got here, I didn't need to plan my 9th week of hostels. So kind of being open to meeting new people, having new experiences, and just kind of going with the flow a bit was that would be a few of them.
Fab. And then I suppose we should definitely talk about it, because sort of COVID's been our life for the last 12 months, right? And we get a lot of questions about COVID in Australia, and there's been some stuff in the news recently to say that travel might be on hold and for like another 2 or 3 years. So I sort of just want to summarise a few of the points and then maybe get some of your thoughts on it.
Absolutely.
I suppose what people are wondering is what the quarantine might look like when you come into Australia, because understandably there will be some from wherever you are in the world. People are wondering if you might need the vaccine before you travel. Another one being, and like we talked about with Australia and the working holidays, it's so flexible, right? You could decide you want to be in Sydney 1 week and then you want to fly to Perth. What does like travel look like between states? And then just, I suppose, your thoughts, and if you can give them, and don't get me wrong, we're not going to hold you to it, is when we think borders might reopen, and what the feel is in Australia and stuff at the moment would be great.
Cool. So not much to answer there then.
No, I know, right? It's like the number one question at the moment. We're like, look, when you get to Australia, it's going to be amazing. But right now we know that, it's got its challenges.
Yeah, so I'll try and do this in some kind of logical order. So in terms of restarting international travel, like the travel bubble, opened with New Zealand today, which is really exciting. The one with Singapore opens in a couple of months. In terms of kind of monumental international travel, that is definitely going to be the back end of the year. That'll be restarting. Qantas are restarting from October, hopefully. And the Prime Minister did say this weekend that it will be kind of slow and it will be cautious, but there will be exemptions to different groups. And we know that one of those groups that's been talked about, well, two of those groups that have been talked about for a long time are students and working holidays, because it is very different because they have a lot more time. If my parents wanted to come visit, for example, for 3 weeks, it's just not feasible. Obviously, it's not. If there was a quarantine period, it's not going to happen in that time, and people won't take the risk either of traveling that far away. If you're coming over on a working holiday, or if you're a student, you've got so much time to play with. And I know that there's talks within the government of, well, people pitching the government, as it were, to try and restart that program in a small sense from maybe October time. And a big reason for that is, things like fruit picking jobs over here. There's a real shortage of people picking fruit, and also there's a massive demand in the hospitality sector. So a lot of people, really needing staff, because we're usually filling those as the backpackers that come over here. And then in terms of a quarantine, I'm not so sure that they'll kind of want to have a mass hotel quarantine set up by then. I think the way Australia seems to be going is, it's more, when we open, we'll kind of be opening properly and as some kind of normal. That's what I've been feeling so far, and that's kind of what we've had in terms of our kind of openings state by state post lockdown. I would, if there was a hotel quarantine, I couldn't really tell you what it looked like at this stage. I know they're already talking about Australians coming back, like if they travel internationally in the next few months, and then doing a home quarantine, but obviously that won't be the case for backpackers. And then, will people need to be vaccinated? I think that's going to depend how many people are vaccinated here. So if 100% people are vaccinated here, then maybe not. But I do think they will be leaning towards yes, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then traveling state by state here it's not fine, but it is at the same time. I've been to 2 or 3 states in the last 3 months. Everything is pretty normal here. There's going to be 100,000 people at the AFL on Sunday, which is mind-boggling. A lot of things are back to normal. I went to a gig last Friday. A lot of things are pretty normal here, But then if there's an outbreak somewhere, there's just can be a snap lockdown. But by the time international travelers come back, I can't really see that being a thing. Yeah.
No, exactly that. Okay, thanks for answering all of those. And just for everybody else, we constantly are updating our travel advice pages. So as and when we get anything, even if it's a tiny bit of information, permitting it's factual, we'll make sure it's on our website and let everybody know. Just before I get into some of the other questions about all the other fun stuff, we have the Ultimate Week in Sydney and in Melbourne. Can you give me your favourite day from each of those? What's your favourite day on those like mini tours? What do the guys do, and why is it your favourite day?
Okay. My favourite day in Melbourne is, so the Monday is kind of the meet and greet, and it's a city tour, and it's really familiarising yourself with the place, and everyone's kind of warming up a bit. And then the Tuesday is my favourite day because it's when you kind of see Melbourne from a bit of a local perspective, and you get to really experience Melbourne. So it's a food and drink hotbed, and we basically just have the whole day eating and drinking. So we go to Queen Victoria Market, which is incredible. We meet some of the local vendors. We try loads of different food. Everyone has a bit of free time to just explore the market, because some people are interested in different things to others. Then we actually we go to the Royal Botanical Gardens, and we have an Aboriginal cultural tour, which is a really unique inclusion and not something that you always associate with maybe the cities. We think it's really important to learn about Indigenous culture in that first week, and it's a really eye-opening tour, and it's a private tour just for our group. It's really, really cool, really informative, and really inspirational. And then after that, we go on a bit of a food and drink tour around the city. So we go to an amazing local chocolatier. We have full sit-down gelato. We learn a bit about that, and that's in this amazing old arcade. Then we need to walk it off before we eat again. So we go explore some street art, and then we head for a couple of drinks in some very Melbourne bars, like hidden in the middle of nowhere. You never know they're there. And then we basically eat our own body weight in dumplings in Chinatown, and it's the oldest Chinatown in the world. So that's my favorite day in Melbourne. Right. And then Sydney favorite day. That's a tough one because it's so new.
Right.
I think I'm gonna say the Thursday because everyone's just buzzing from surfing the day before. Up early. We've had a couple of days in the city at the start, so similar to Melbourne. We've stayed at the surf camp overnight, and it's kind of like, it can't get any better from here. And then it does. We go down to Jervis Bay, which is this beautiful area, a couple of hours south of Sydney. It's quite hard to get to, pretty much unless you do a tour, and there's no tours there, or unless you have a car. So that's why we wanted to go there. It's famous for a couple of things. Firstly, dolphins. So we jump on a dolphin cruise, and as you'll see on our video, there's just so many dolphins. I actually did the trip. I think I've been on the trip 4 times in the space of 3 months as we were like prepping everything. And every time I think we saw 15 plus dolphins. It's so close as well. And then after we get off, we head to, there's just an abundance of beaches there, and it's the whitest sand in the world. So we go to these incredible beaches, literally no one on them because we're going there on a Thursday afternoon. So and the locals have all these, there's no one there. The Sydney siders don't come down till the weekend. And also we've got some cool wildlife opportunities there. The second time I went there, we saw echidnas, kangaroos just in the wild, like around the beach. So I'd say that's my favorite day there.
Great, fabulous, thank you. Okay, so we'll jump into a few of the questions that some of our customers have been asking. What sort of work are backpackers going to find when they're out there?
So kind of a bit of everything, to be honest. If you're looking for 2nd or 3rd year visa work, then there is a lot of farm work. And we have like a huge database on that we can help with all around the country. And as I say, Australia have really seen a huge, like how much work the working holiday makers do, out with the fruit picking. So there's always going to be those jobs. And then, the hospitality sector is huge. So, cafes, bars, restaurants. And I'm not saying immediately that you land here and you get a 40-hour job. It's quite often you might do 15 hours in a cafe and then 25 hours in a restaurant, and it's built up. And then you end up working in one of them more permanently.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've got people on our database that we've got teaching agencies. We've got recruiters that specialize in admin roles, specialize in maybe construction, even like engineering. And there's a lot of like project work. So you might get like a 4-month project. You might start as a temp 3 days, and you might get 3 or 4 month project that you get to work on. There's more serious jobs than people think. It's not just fruit picking and cafes, but there's absolutely everything.
Right.
There's a lot of casual work, as you can imagine, like removalists, things like that. But if you've got a trade, you'll pretty much always get work.
Right, fab. Okay. We talked about what Australia's like at the moment. You guys sound like you're having a fab time. Tell us like a little bit. I know you guys stay in hostels and stuff. Tell us what like a hostel's like. I know people are worried it might not be as sociable now after COVID, and what they like to stay in a room with 6 people. I think you can only know if you've been in one, right? But just to get your thoughts on it would be great.
Yeah. Firstly, just on the sociable aspect, because kind of where Australia is, that's not really a thing. It's still really sociable. The only reason they're open is because it's kind of safe enough to be open, and therefore sociable. So now even the 6-bed dorms are allowed 6 people in. Before it was kind of 3 people to a 6-bed dorm. But I think the thing with the hostel is you've got to kind of put yourself out there. It's a bit like first day of school, college, uni, or anywhere, or a job where you don't know anyone. And you've just kind of, I'm not going to say you're going to like every single person in there, but it's going to be law of averages. If you don't like the first person, have a chat to the next one, and you'll probably get on with them. And some of my best friends here and around the world are people I met in a hostel in Melbourne at the end of 2010, did like 12 days there. Now I've been to their weddings, and some of them are still here. I think there's about 15 of us that are still here. I've been on holidays with them and reunions in England and all sorts. You've just got to put yourself out there, have a chat with the people in your dorm. What are you doing tonight? Do you want to go catch lunch? Or have you heard that the hostel's doing this? Or there's a pool competition? And you've just got to do it. And even things that you might not normally do.
Nice. Yeah. You do, you put yourself out. I'm the same. I've got loads of mates that I met in that first week in Sydney, and I mean, it's crazy. You're just thrown together, and you're all in the same boat, right? You're all traveling for the first time normally. Okay. People just wanted to sort of know, I think there's that apprehension. You're about to get on the plane. When do you start knowing who you're going to be traveling with in that first week? Do you get to meet anyone or get to communicate with anyone before you go, or do you just get it when you arrive into Sydney or Melbourne? Oh, we're frozen. I'm hoping we're going to get Adam back. Fingers crossed. We're back. I think so.
I'm back.
Yes, you're back.
I'm back.
Yes. See, this is the thing, isn't it? We're all relying on video nowadays, and it's fingers crossed it's going to come back. I was like, oh no. Anyway, we're back. And we were just saying, like, what does that like meeting people before you go and stuff look like?
On our trip, sorry, was that?
Yeah. So, I think a lot of people always they want to know who they're going to be traveling with, and I suppose the question is will you just meet everyone on day one in Sydney, or is there any chance to like communicate with some of your group before you go?
So we didn't want to. We were going to create Facebook groups when we first started, but we actually thought we were a bit worried that it might end up being detrimental, whereby what if we have 18 people in the group and 16 of them have Facebook and everyone gets speaks for like 2 months and then the other two feel a bit left out. So what we create a WhatsApp group. Oh, I can hear myself there. We create a WhatsApp group on just a week before, and the guide will create the group and basically, welcome everyone, because everyone's kind of arriving different times. Someone might arrive on a Wednesday, some on a Sunday, and it kind of it gives people a bit of a closed space to have a bit of a chat and organize separate things. So the guide might say, "Oh, this Saturday is the Greek festival on Lonsdale Street. You should get yourself down there." Or the football's on, or the Grand Prix on, or maybe, and just kind of throw a few suggestions out there. And then people can ask questions, maybe like, "Oh, where should we go for dinner tonight? 10 of us have arrived and we'd like to go out." And people can meet in that way. But we do like that kind of meeting people on the first day as well, because I think you're gonna do that a lot over the trips. It's kind of it's healthy to be out of the comfort zone a bit on the first day. So that's as far as the meeting people before goes.
No, fabulous, great. Okay, I think, Adam, that's most of our questions covered, and I don't want us to risk the Wi-Fi again, but I just wonder if you've got any lasting things you want to say or anything like that about the trips.
Lasting things you want to say? Like, you throw it. I didn't know that was coming, Lucy. I think a big thing that I've learned over, and like personally and through speaking to a lot of travelers, is if you were thinking of traveling like maybe pre-COVID, and you're like, "Oh, I might go traveling," and you've put it off for a couple of years. I think COVID's really taught us that if there is a chance to travel, you should absolutely definitely take it, because I've spoke to a lot of people that didn't do their second year, or are now too old to come back, or just can't come back now, and they'd give anything to be able to come back for a couple of months or a year, and they can't come back. So if you've been thinking about it and you're a bit apprehensive, don't worry about being nervous. Like, if you weren't nervous before coming here, it'd be very, very strange. It's a good, healthy thing to be nervous and scared, but there's thousands of people in the same boat as you, and there's people like us here to help throughout that time. So just book your flight and do it, and then worry about it later.
You never regret it. Like, I did mine 15 years ago, and you never regret it. Like, my friend messaged me the other day, "Oh, did you know it was 12 years ago for us? I was out of a plane," and you're just like, that felt like yesterday, right? And thank God I've got those memories and everything. Exactly. Adam, thanks so much for chatting to us. And we're super, super excited to start getting some beauty-knackers over to you and enjoying their trips in Australia.
I'm very excited to have them.
See you later.
Great. Thank you very much. Yes. Bye.